Hey folks, so this time we're solving equations but with parentheses. There's a little bit more going on now. Let us check this out. Alright, over on the left I have a 6 outside a set of parentheses. I'm going to distribute that 6 in. So that is now a 6x plus, and then 6 times 5 is 30. All of that equals 70. That right side hasn't changed. Now I'm going to solve for my x's, but I have to get rid of everything else on that side then. So I have to subtract 30. And now I have a 6x equals 70 minus 30 is 40. So I'm going to divide by 6, divide by 6. And this is actually, it's not going to go down evenly. So I'm going to divide my top and my bottom by 2. Since both of those numbers are even, I know I can simplify them by a 2, which gets me 20 over 3. And that is fine as an improper fraction. But I often want it as a mixed number. So how many times does 3 go into 20 perfectly? Well, 3 goes into 18 perfectly 6 times. So I have a 6, and then there's 2 of them left over, right? Instead of 18, I wanted a 20, so I need 2/3 left. So that's my mixed fraction. Over on the right, there's a lot of distribution that needs to happen. This 6 needs to go in, then this 10 needs to go in. So let's do all of that. And that gets me 6x plus 12. That 3 is unchanged. I'm just bringing it down. Then it's 10 times 2x, which gets me 20x's. 10 times -4 gets me -40. And then that 5 is unchanged. It just comes on down. Now, before I do any other things, I'm going to combine like terms. That's often, it just cleans this whole thing up. So now I have a 6x plus 15, right? Because 3 and 12 can be combined. And then 20x, -40, and 5. Those can combine to get me -35. Now I want to take my x's over to wherever I have the most number of x's. And in this case, that's the 20x on my right. So I'm going to subtract 6x's. So on the left, I have 15 equals, and that's 14x minus 35. So now I have to add 35 over. And that gets me 50 equaling 14x. I have to divide by that 14. And both of those are an even number. So I know though x equals 50 over 14, I can reduce each of those by a 2. Right? I'm going to divide the top by 2 and divide bottom by 2. As long as I do everything to the top and bottom, I'm fine. So I'm now going to move this over to the right a little bit. X equals 25 over 7. How many perfect 7s are there in 25? Well, if I were to type that on a calculator, it would give me like a 3 and then a decimal. So I know it goes in 3 times perfectly. And 3 times 7 is going to give me 21. So I have 4 left over because this is a 25. So I have 4/7 left. All right, let's try our next one. This one is a bit of a doozy. There's 3 things that I have to distribute in. I have to take in this 7, take in this 3, and take in this 5. So let's do that. 7 times the x gets me 7x. 7 times -2 is -14. 3 times both of those get me a 3x, and then a 6. 5 times x is 5x. That one's not too bad, right? But then a 5 times -6 is a -30. Over on the left, I can do some cleaning up, right? I have some like terms. These 2 and these 2. So 7 and 3 are going to get me 10x's. -14 and +6. That's actually going to be a -8. And then my right side is unchanged. Nothing special happened to it. Now I got to get my x's over to where most of my x's are. Well, 10 is real big compared to a 5. So I'm going to subtract those 5x's. And I'm left with 5x's on my left. -8 equals -30. Oh, this is dragging out forever. I'm going to add my 8. So 5x equals -30 plus 8 gets me a -22. When I divide by 5, I'm going to show you a shortcut in a second. This takes forever. Dividing both sides by 5. Now I'm going to have to write this over on my right again. X equals a -22 over 5. That's improper. As a mixed fraction, how many perfect times does 5 fit into 20? Well, that's going to be a 4 times, because that gets me to 20. But then I needed 22, so there's actually 2/5 left over. Improper on top, mixed on bottom. You ready for a shortcut, though? I am. Let me hop over to Desmos. There it is. I've already typed this equation in. It's up in the top left. And you'll notice where I cross my x-axis, right there, right at negative 4.4. But what if I need this as a fraction? Well, how do I get that 0.4? I'm going to guess and check. Let's see, 3 over 5. Ooh, 0.6. It's too big. Okay, what about definitely 4 over 10, right? Because it was tenths. But can I simplify this? What about 2 over 5? That gets me 0.4. What did I want? I wanted 0.4. Good. So this is a negative 4 and then 2/5. Well, if I look back here, that's what I got, negative 4 and 2/5. So again, you can plug all of this into Desmos, the full equation, unchanged, and it can spit out your answer. Well, folks, I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.